Hello, I'm Christina Sadley, and I am a positive discipline parent educator and parenting coach. And I am coming to you with these videos on different positive discipline parenting tools. So they look like this, and you could buy these cards on positivediscipline.com or download the app Positive Discipline Parenting Tool Cards, and you get 52 tool cards, which is once a week for 52 weeks, a whole year, to learn new tools to add to your tool belt. So they're really awesome. And like I said, what we're going to talk about today is mistakes. So first I want you to think about, what messages did you receive about mistakes when you were a child? I know for me, I believed I received the message that mistakes were bad. It was not something that you wanted to do. You did not want people to recognize that you made a mistake, and I would want to hide it. Instead of experiencing the pain and shame, I would try to hide any mistake I made. So some people might decide, like me, that they were bad or inadequate. Others decided that they should not take risk for fear of humiliation or not reaching the standard of perfection that others or themselves expected. Some became approval junkies and just did whatever they could to make others happy, which resulted in lower self-esteem. And some were obsessed with the need to prove their self-worth. And some were like me and decided to get sneakier and do everything they could to avoid getting caught at all costs. So when parents give us these messages, they usually mean well. They're trying to motivate children to do better for their own good. They haven't taken the time to really think about how this is going to affect their child for the long term and for the rest of their lives. So we like to talk about a different way to respond to mistakes. And we like to say that mistakes are wonderful opportunities to learn, and that we should respond to mistakes, as it says on the card here, with compassion and kindness instead of shame, blame, or lectures. And I get that that can be tough sometimes, especially when our kids make big mistakes. It can be tough not to lecture them about how they should have did things differently. And sometimes we just really feel like we have to drill into them and make them feel really bad so that they'll never make that mistake again. But I encourage you to try a different strategy of, maybe using some curiosity questions to help your child explore the consequences of their choices, rather than telling them all the things that they did wrong and what they should have done instead or do next time. But really have them learn from themselves, because really our children do better when they feel better. It's not effective to make them feel so bad. They don't learn from that. I mean, do you? When someone like your boss makes you feel really horrible, does that, motivate you to do better? Yeah, let's see what else. So again, like so much parenting is just really based on fear. We fear that if we don't make our children feel bad, they're not going to learn from their mistakes. And also we fear what others think of us, right? Like when, from the time they're young in the grocery store throwing a tantrum, we wonder what others are going to think of us as parents. To fast forward to teenage years and they're throwing house parties, then we are worried about what our neighbors are going to think of us as parents, right? So I really encourage you to instill a culture of mistakes are opportunities to learn, and really role model that for your children. So, us parents make mistakes, teachers make mistakes, adults make mistakes. And when we do, we should really make it a habit to point out that mistake and be like, whoops, I messed up. I need a do-over. Or, I really shouldn't have talked to you with such disrespect. I hope you'll accept my apology. In the future, I'm going to really try to take some deep breaths before I unleash on you. Those are just a couple of examples. Let's see. Also, some people during dinner time sit around and everyone talks about a mistake that they've made that day and what they learned from it. And for me, with my youngest son, we waited until the end of the day when we would get into bed and have snuggles and read a story together. And we would have long conversations about each other's day and some positive things and maybe some challenging things. And that's when we would talk about mistakes that we may have learned or may have made mistakes and what we learned from them. So yeah, I just, again, try your best to encourage this. I know it can be some retraining our minds about mistakes, but it really helps encourage our children to be risk takers and in a positive way, right? And not be afraid to come to us when they do make mistakes so that we can help guide them through it. Because they know that we're not going to punish them or make them feel worse, but instead support them and help them figure it out, right? So I hope you found this video helpful. Tune in every week. Hit subscribe and like if you like this, and subscribe in order to get my weekly videos on different positive discipline parenting tools. All right, bye-bye now.